Dang, I had my mic on this whole time? Whoops. Sorry about that. I didn't even realize I had my mic on. Well, what's up, Blue Chips? Tim here from Volatility Trading. Today is Tuesday, January 21st. You're not meant to do what's comfortable. Challenge yourself. Let's get to it. What's going on? Hope you had a good 3-day weekend. It was kind of frustrating that we couldn't trade yesterday, huh? What's up? What's up, Stock Money? What's up, Jeff? How you guys doing this morning? Hopefully everyone had a good, solid weekend, and we're going to hopefully start the week off right. Brad, what's going on, man? How are you doing? Let's see what we got. Take a quick look at the scanners here. I know play was in play because this thing yesterday, on Friday, just kind of consolidated. So we might keep this up just out of curiosity. We're actually going to put that on our other screen here. It's actually a little early this morning, so that was nice. Just had a little bit to do around the house when I got home. Didn't even realize that the mic was on, so sorry about that. Hopefully it wasn't picking up Blaze in the background because I don't feel like getting copyrighted, but I guess I could just cut that whole intro if that is the case, but we'll see. Son is loving playing with the Roomba. Giovanni, what's going on? Thomas, what's going on? Wow, that quote is so meant for me today. Oh, the quote, yeah. Some of these quotes are good. And it's funny because me and the wife were just talking about stepping outside our comfort zones because, you know, a marriage, you tend to get into a routine. And when you get into a routine, really the only way to change it is to kind of try new things. And try a new thing. Holy crap, Tesla. I saw this thing earlier when it made this move from about 508 up here to 517, and then I left to take him to school. And then now it's at 531. What is going on with Tesla? This thing is nuts. But anyways, it involves a lot of stepping outside your comfort zone, making sure that you kind of, I don't want to say like keep things spicy, but I guess that's part of it. What's wrong, bud? It was his birthday yesterday, so he's 2 now. Can't believe I've been watching him for 2 years now. It's crazy. You want the bucket? Bucket? Bucket's upside down. Okay. He's upside down. All the balls go inside the bucket. There's the bucket. Ball. Ball. Uh-oh. Who's thinking about me? My nose is itching. I need to blow my nose too. Red balls don't want to go in there, huh? Uh-oh. A little bit of everything going wrong this morning. All right. Let's get back into this. So we got about 5 minutes here till the bell. Obviously not playing Tesla. We got shares available, though. Just saying. LEDS, this is a lower float. Just kind of checking it out, see what it's doing. Looks like it made a move on Friday in the after hours. Kind of doing its thing here in the morning. I'll say I wouldn't be surprised if this was in the bear scan watch list, but it's not. It was in the after hours, so that might be why. Let's see what else we got here. CSS looks to be the leading gapper this morning. Looks like a buyout. I'm going to assume that's a buyout, so we're obviously not going to mess with that. Lower float anyways. NVAX, NVAX, also a lower float, 32 mil. This has all the volume this morning. It already has 4.7 mil in volume. We have no shares here, so most likely going to stay away from this one. The daily on this looks like a bit of a breakout as well, but now we also have this huge gap to fill to the downside, all the way down to 581. So just be careful with those. We do have, let's see if we can draw a line here. Looks like we have some decent support possible around that $8 area. Let's move that to $8. Just in case for some reason we bring this up, looking for like a wash out of the gate, we might look to see if it wants to bounce there. Could be an interesting one. Actually, let's put that one up over on one of my other charts. Keep that up for the bell. EVOK. Let's see what we got there. It's a lower float. Can't type. Not really interested there. No shares. Not really. The range on that's not that great. It's a lower volume, or lower float, sorry. ARAY. We do have shares here. Range is not that great. Float's good, 85 mil, but we'll probably stay away. INO. I saw this one moving this morning as I was playing with the kids, and I could have got in. You know, the market's open at 7:30. You know, would have been a pretty nice one to get in on. Would have been a single entry for sure. Because right around here is kind of when I saw it. I was sitting on the floor, and I had already had it up because it had came up on the scanner. I think it was on this move, maybe. Not exactly. I don't remember, to be honest. I guess it doesn't have that up on the track. That starts at the bell. But yeah, we could have possibly got an entry there, and it would have been nice. Pretty much almost a point move on a $4 stock. Pretty crazy. But we'll keep INO up. We'll keep that one up down here. Let's see if we can't find one more to have up here at the open. CERS. Range isn't that great. Let's go the other way. 80XS. Look at the down gappers. Our biggest down gapper is only 14%. That's actually interesting. And it's a penny stock. It does have 50 mil float though. HTHT. So this is kind of one that's down. What's the float on this? 294 mil, so not bad. This is something that you could be looking for like a pop out of the gate. There's really, doesn't look like any volume though, yeah. So we'll probably stay away from that. TAL. Correct, yeah. If you want to trade on CMEG in the pre-market, you would have to change your route to day plus. That is, well, it's not your route, it's your, what is that called? Having a brain fart. Still a little early. Let's see what it's called. Yes, Camden. Got airplane. Oh, did it turn? It's because the battery's dead, bud. It's the TIF. That's what it is. The TIF. And honestly, I don't even know what that means. Let's go find. Let's learn something this morning real quick. We got 1 minute left. Let's see, what is the TIF? What is TIF? Stock. There we go. Time and force. I've read that before, so I have learned that before. I just did not, I guess, comprehend it as much as I should have to remember. So it means time and force. So that's basically saying, which makes sense, the time that you're looking to place the trade is how you would do it. So you got day plus, which is for CMEG, pre-market after hours, day, which is intraday. I know what GTC, it's good to close, so basically it'll just stay open. I don't know what IOC is. Maybe that's like an intraday until close. I'm not sure. So we got about 20 seconds here. Bell's gonna ring, and we're gonna get going. Again, I personally like to wait for the first 2 minute candle to form, and we'll kind of go from there. INO absolutely dumping here right before the bell. That's not exactly what we were hoping to see, but we'll keep it up. So we have TAL. Let me see if I can post these real quick for you guys. Oops. As the bell has rung. Let's see. Looking at TAL, INO. NVAX, NVAX, oops, and play. So those are the 4 I got up. And let's get it. Good luck today, guys. Watching NVAX is kind of my main watch here out of the gate. Just watching how everything's moving. So I guess I should hit enter if I'm curious. I'll put it up over here. See if we can't get that move down there towards 8. There we go. I'm going to start NVAX here. See if it wants to get through 850. We actually got a pretty bad fill there. I thought I hit it right when it dropped, but I guess I was... Maybe it jumped back up. Not sure. Look to add if it wants to dump through this 850. 850 is kind of holding here. See if we can't get this pushed back up towards 9. All right, we're trying to get back down through 850. It's trying. There we go, it's through. All right, we're going to get an add there. 837. Kind of looking for this $8 area to act as good support. All right, we're going down to test it. This thing's getting slaughtered. All right, it's coming back up. I was looking for it to try to test 8 there. Probably could have got an add in when it was down towards 810. $854. Put an order out there. See if it wants to give us a fill. Be right at kind of our profit target area. See if we can't look around for something else while this is happening. OMI. We're going to start OMI. What did we get there? It's 58. All right, we got our fill there on NVAX. You want more? Okay, bud, hold on one sec. Might have to jump out of this one a little early. Hold on one sec, bud. 658. Almost would rather this go again. Here, I'll be right back, so it should be okay. All right, we're back. Dang it. Hopefully I don't miss this. We got 58. Okay. We're going to get an ad there. It might have been a little early on that one. It was a pretty extended move, though. Let's see. Is there anything else moving? NVAX is actually trying to go to the upside. We're going to leave that one alone now. Excuse me. 72. 62. Go with 55. Put an order out there just in case we want to get down there. CFRX. No, I don't really like the range there. TRNX floats a little lower. It's a bunch. What just happened there? JMIA. We don't have shares there. SSR anyways. PLG. No shares there. Let's see if we can come down and test that 50 area on OMI. BCRX. We checked that one earlier, didn't we? Yeah. Let's see if we can't get a little dump here on BCRX. It might try to bounce here. It's kind of got that area from Friday. Wish I had shares on Tilray. That thing looks nice. I don't really like, I'm not a big fan of their float. That thing obviously is known to move a little bit. Looking for that 650-ish test on OMI. Go to 56 on this one. Front run. 55 is usually like one of those key areas. We'll try to front run that just a tad. Our average is at 72. Sorry. I actually thought I had the scanners on the screen. Well, I'll do chart 2 with the scanner since I have a trade going there. Sorry about that. NVAX wasn't on the screen? What do you mean? Did I have the wrong thing up? I don't even know what I had up. Sorry about that. I'll have to look at it. I thought I had the full screen with scanners up, but I obviously didn't. Now I'm curious, what did I have up? Did I have the second chart up the whole time? Yeah. I must have hit the wrong button. Sorry about that, guys. Dang it. That was actually a pretty good trade, too. I was pretty happy with it. ARAY. Yeah, that was a fail on my part, guys. Sorry about that. I'll go full screen with scanners. I'll put NVAX up top just so you guys can see the trade that I took. Not that it's going to obviously help now. Just looking for OMI to come down and test that 50 area again. Got a nice little drop there. Started that one a little bit early, and then it got a nice additional push there. So we'll see what it wants to do. Nothing else really kind of going at the moment. NVAX just chopping away at the moment. SSKN. Do have shares on this one, but 20 mil float. Range isn't that great. Probably going to stay away. This ARAY volume's not that great. OMI trying to be a pain to go back towards high a day. Not a big deal. Just following the plan on that one. ACUL. Don't have shares here on OCUL, sorry. Float's actually not too bad, 42 mil. Volume's coming into this. Might have been something we'd be interested in, but we do not have any shares, so oh well. PLG, I think we looked at that one earlier. Yeah, that was going towards the upside, and we said we didn't have any shares. Wouldn't have been playing that anyway. We would have been looking for a much further extension from this previous resistance here at 286, so we would have been looking for this to go through 3 for sure. Look at this daily. That thing had a nice move on Friday. Assuming that was Friday, yep. So I mentioned earlier MLCO. What do we got there? That thing's just kind of chopping. Ooh, and just like that, we got our fill there on OMI. Wasn't even paying attention. It's the beauty of putting orders out there, just in case they want to shoot down your area. And look at that. It popped right up off 55. See, the low it got to 53, but it popped right up. So we would have got the fill at 55, but obviously not too worried about that. Take that. A little bit slower this morning. I was expecting it to be a little bit slower just because everyone's kind of coming back, 3-day weekend, you know, kind of get your feet wet type thing. Dang, oh my, going a little bit further. Kind of watching NVAX again. I had this up on my other chart, on my other screen. It's looking like it may want to try to extend itself to the downside again here. See if we can't get that like low a day push through 8 kind of as a fake out. Definitely be interested there. Nice, Jeff. Yeah, NVAX, it's a mover. It's the one that's moving today, that's for sure. It's got all the volume. get that VWAP reject, come down, Tesla a day, a little bit of a fake out, and then maybe look to go higher. If we could bottom this thing on a push through 8, bounce back up, might try to ride this thing all the way up to 9. See if it wants to try to give it to us. So it's not quite giving us that move that we wanted. Everything else that's moving right now is not what we're looking for. Still watching NVAX here. It's kind of our main watch at this point. There's really nothing else moving. Nothing else to really put on watch here. Dang. Tesla giving us a flag, but weak market so far. China market down today. Let's see, Tesla. Yeah, it is kind of giving you a little bit of a interesting. It looks like it's trying to come back down. I mean, that move in the pre-market, you would only assume there'd be some sort of pullback before any kind of continuation. Take a look at some other. How did I miss WW? That must not have popped up high enough. Yeah, it's not on the tracker. WW is definitely something I would have played most likely. Volume isn't that great, but could have still got into it. RRC. You probably would not have played this one. I don't know. It has some support down here. that like the 330 area. If that wants to maybe give us a quick drop, RRC, let's put that one up on this chart over here. Let's see what else we got. So these are WB. Yeah, WB would have been a nice one. I didn't see that one either. That was like right at the bell. Kind of gave us that slowdown candle right after it too. That would have been a nice one. And 80AP. We all know I don't like 80AP, even though it would have worked. Look at that. I don't know. Probably wouldn't have played this one. Wouldn't have been a fan of the volume. I mean, then again, I don't know. It's an interesting one. I probably would have left it alone just looking at the daily. But definitely was an interesting one to look at. What are you guys looking at? Anybody have anything up that looks promising? Anybody get any good plays today? I was really hoping that we got an $8 test from NVAX, but unfortunately we didn't get that. So we got our one trade there on NVAX, another trade we went short on OMI. That's our two trades for today so far. Obviously still looking. Let me see, Tom. Let me see. It's sideways. The heck? Did it jump like that on your chart just randomly? Like you didn't do anything? Oh, I see your mouse. Let me see. I mean, I guess you could have hit enter or something. That's weird. Is it like what? What? It's still doing it? You're not even. Yeah, that's messed up. I don't know if I'd be able to deal with that. That's scary to think about trading and your charts are doing that. No, thank you. OCUL, let's check that one out. Good find, no shares, unfortunately. This would be a good one. I like the extension here. What's the float on this one? 42 mil. Yeah, we checked this one out earlier. This would have been a nice one. And look at NVAX. It's looking like it's curling. That would have been so. The plan with NVAX was to try to get that 8 flush, looking for the liquidity down there, stop losses and all that good stuff. Jump in. On this move, obviously, not now. But if it would have dropped down and gave us that extension, that would have been such a good buy, in my opinion. And then we would have been looking to ride this thing up over VWAP. Because I think obviously this was an upward trend. It was an upward trend. So the odds are you're going to get at least like a $9 touch or at least back up to VWAP. At least that was the idea. Looks like it's kind of panning out, but we didn't quite get that $8 flush that we were looking for to get us into the trade. SPCE, another good find on the extension. However, you okay, bud? Yeah. The float on SPCE is actually a good float, 53 mil, but unfortunately we have no shares. We would definitely be in this trade. And it looks like it would have worked out right away. Instant gratification. We would have been looking for this previous resistance right here, 1664. To be used as support, so we would have front ran that just a little bit, probably just 1670. We're already in the 70s, 76. Ask was coming down. See if the bid doesn't want to kind of flush through. No, it's kind of stalling out a little bit here. How was your weekend? Brad asking. It was good, man. I appreciate you asking. There it goes. We would have got filled right there. Going to test this previous resistance. I'll get to my weekend in a second. Just want to show you guys how much I preach this all the time. You get the extension through previous resistance. Same with something like NVAX up here. You get a push through previous support. You can see support sitting here It was used a bunch of times. So that was a good area to put my take profit, because it was not only previous support there, but VWAP was coming down right to there. So, and look, that's exactly where it bounced. Same thing here with SPCE. Preach it all the time. Say it over and over again, because that's what day trading is. If you guys didn't watch my video that I put out last night, go check it out. It's about consistency. You're going to consistently see a lot of these extensions through previous resistance and previous support. They come back usually to test those areas before continuing in the direction that they're going. And as you can see, it's trying to bounce right off that area, looking to use it as support. And if it wants to continue higher at this point, it can. Tip Your Bellman, what's up, man? I don't think I've seen your name before. Made 25 cents on NVAX. Thanks for bringing it to my attention. You're welcome. Again, always trade your plan, right? I can sit here and tell you what stocks have a high probability of working out. But again, my plan may be different than your plan. So don't be jumping in the trades just because I'm getting into them, okay? Always do your due diligence. Trade your plan, your strategy. Always keep that in mind. What was I? Oh, my weekend. So yeah, Saturday we had my son's birthday party. We went up to a local pizza place. They're not a chain place. It's a, they actually make some pretty solid pizza. Had 50 total people there. It actually ended up being 52 total people there, all family. And it's crazy because my wife's side of the family, I think there was 8 of them. So just goes to show. And we actually didn't even come close to inviting all the people we wanted to invite. So yeah, imagine us trying to plan our wedding when that happened, because we only did 150 people. That was interesting. Actually, I think it was only 100. Yeah, I think it was only 100. Jeez, I don't know how we did that. But yeah, Saturday we had the party for him. Came home Sunday. I just pretty much chilled throughout the morning. I actually was practicing. What's wrong, bud? What's wrong? Do you need something? Come here. Want your blanket? Your blanket's right there. Did you get a hair in your mouth? Is that what it is? You got a hair in there? Here, take a drink. It'll help? Give me 1 second. Looks like he fell face first onto the dog, and he got a nice blog of hair in his mouth. Please don't squeeze it. Please don't squeeze it. Yay! Look at you drinking that. And you didn't squeeze it. Good job, bud. Yay, Camden. Do you want more? No? Applesauce? You want me to put more over there on the table? Yes? Yes? Okay. All right, I think crisis averted there. It's about to be World War III up in here. All right. Can you tell a montage no shares, Jeff asked. Yes, you can. See right in this area. Let's zoom in here. So SPCE, normally it would say, what was the one that we shorted? AMI? OMI, see how there's an S? That means that it's easy to borrow and it's shortable. So if we go back to SPCE, you'll see that it's gone. So we know that it's not. And you can still click that area and it'll pop up and tell you it's a symbol is not shortable. So SPC actually, like I said, I mean, guys, I can't preach this enough. Had a resistance, came down, went through that resistance, extended through, came down, tested that resistance, used it as support, and now it's going higher. I mean, it happens all the time, right? Well, Tim, why don't you buy those? Well, it's because if you remember, my old strategy was looking to short these over resistant or over extensions to the upside, looking for it to not only come down and test that area, take off the majority of my position, but look for it to continue, right? So it's very much a, you know, it's still extended to the upside here. So I'm not looking to go long unless it is an overall, you know, bullish trend. And maybe in the future, I'll start looking to play those. Look to add in on these nice quick drops and look to ride these back up because I would say more than 60% of the time this happens, right? You get the bounce right off that previous area and it continues. So it is definitely something to look into. And as you can see, SPCE was a perfect example of that. Ooh, Thomas, I'm looking at your charts. OMI, that was not a pretty chart to look at. Doesn't look like a big loser, but just the way that you played it. Yeti, on the other hand, yeah, that one's just unfortunate. I didn't even see Yeti. And unfortunately, it looks like it faked your ass out. This is kind of why I've adapted to my new strategies a little bit. It was kind of part of it. Was, you know, say I started it around this 35.50 area and it tried to pull back but then went higher. Normally I would stop out there at high of day, which is what Thomas did, and that's following his plan, which is good. So that's good for you, Thomas, seriously. But as you can tell, it went a little bit higher. Instead of me looking to stop out now, I'm actually looking to add since we started smaller and see if, you know, that's basically a fake out. Granted, if we would have started this at 13 or 35.50, we most likely would have taken the position off as it tested 35.20. Then again, I don't know. We might have been looking for that 35 test because this is a pretty big move to the upside. So we probably would have still been in this. However, we definitely would have gotten out when it went back below 35.50 here because we would have had to add up here, first add there, and we would have had double the position size. And we would have went back under 35.50. No way we weren't going to take it there. So that would have been a nice trade had I seen it. I didn't even see Yeti. Looks like a lot of plays that didn't quite reach that 20 on the intensity scanner. I know the higher the price, a little bit harder to find them. But Still need to, I'm attempting to only play stocks right off the scanner that give me that plus 20 move that we're looking for, right? If I see it highlighted in this nice golden yellow, it means it's over 20, and that's what we're looking for. Looking for as an intense move as we can get. TVIX is dipping. That must mean the SPY is moving, which it's not. That's interesting. Why would the TVIX be dipping and the SPY is kind of just chopping? That's interesting. By the way, if you guys are new here, since things are kind of calm right here, well, I'm actually watching Yeti, just so you guys know. Love to see this up towards 3650. Yeah, 3650 would be perfect. We're getting that push through the previous resistance here at 36. If we can get up towards 3650, I'd be interested here, but it looks like it's retracing a little bit. But again, if you are new here, I'm Tim from Volatility Trading. If you guys ever have any questions or comments, concerns, anything, feel free to chime in on the chat. Let me know. Always happy to answer questions. Anybody that knows me here knows that I'm very truthful, transparent. Anything I can do to help you guys out along as I'm trading along my journey, I'm going to do it. If you guys don't know about Friday night live streams, we do a live stream every Friday night. We are trying to make sure that we stream every day in the morning as well, now that my oldest kid is in school full time. So, and there goes Yeti right below 36. That was a little spready there. Big sell order. Yeah, Thomas. Thomas looking for a little revenge on Yeti. Just wait for your setup, man. But yeah, we try to stream here in the mornings from about 9:20. It's usually when I get home from dropping him off at school till about 11 o'clock. It's kind of when things start to really slow down. You'll never see me in a trade past 12 o'clock anymore. I made that a rule. I think I had told everybody that on Friday. I don't remember if it was in the morning or on the live stream at night. But yeah, that's a new rule of mine. I'm not trading past 12 o'clock noon anymore. It never works out. I went through all of my trades, and every time I trade in the afternoon, it's just, they're not all losers, but the numbers pretty much show me that I should not be trading in the afternoon. So NNVC. Look at that. That's got to be a super low floater. Let's see. NNVC. Obviously wouldn't be playing this. 2.74 mil float. So yeah, it's a low float. Look at the halts that it's going through on the volume. There's like no volume, and this thing is halting nonstop. Andrew, I don't think I've seen you before either. Welcome. NVAX down. Let's take a look. I actually meant to pull that back up. Oh, nice. See how it kind of chopped around though? So I'm not really too interested now. I really wanted it on this big down move. If it wants to try to shoot down towards 750, we'd actually look to get back in. Let's see what it wants to do. Because now we're in like a overall, like at least if we would have got the dip here, we're not really in like a downtrend just yet. Obviously, we're having a down move, but now this is starting to become a downtrend, right? We're making lower highs over and over again. So we almost at least got that VWAP touch that I was talking about, but we didn't really get that push down to get rid of all the sellers. As you can see, it is fighting here at $8. I wouldn't be interested here anymore just because of the chop that it went through. I would really like to see this get extended down towards 750 if we wanted to jump back in. Yeti not really doing what we wanted it to do. We wanted that to jump up there towards 3650. Now it's just kind of chopping around that previous resistance. DXC. There we go. I didn't hear that, but it looks nice. 50 cents. See if we can get that pop back up towards 37. It's not quite giving it to us. I don't like pulling up a chart and it has a big top wick. I've gotten pretty screwed in the past, especially when it's volume out of nowhere like this, because usually that means it's probably news driven or something silly like that. So we're going to be patient with it. I mean, this is literally exactly what I did with LYV. So we're gonna kind of let it do its thing here. If we missed it, we missed it. It happens. I didn't hear it go off on the scanner, which kind of sucks, but I don't think it ever actually got there. Yeah, it doesn't look like it did. So it looks like it would have worked out. Spread's really bad too. Yep, it's coming down. So hopefully you got that, Thomas. Good call. That was a nice extension. Boom, look at that thing drop. Instant gratification. Looks like Thomas missed it as well. Yeah, it's a little frustrating. Would have definitely looked to get in if it would have popped back up towards 37. But when we brought it up, it was already down here in the 3660s again. So I wasn't looking to mess with a big top wick like that just because, again, I've had a bad previous experience trying to trade something like that, especially when it's volume out of nowhere, which usually means there's some kind of news or just something, some kind of rumor, whatever it is. So still looking at NVAX up here. Looking like we might get that move down towards 750. BYND, I know that's too expensive. Yeah, it's kind of in a flag. Tesla's actually up there. NVAX trying here. Come on, give us that little bit more. See the sellers still kind of stacking up there. Really want that 750. Looks like we might not get it. Want that like real nice extension. Just kind of chilling here at 70. It's not really popping back up, which is a good thing. Oh, there's some buyers coming in. They kind of got eaten right through, too. Really disappointed in my boy QCOM. Oh, man. Yeah, that thing's kind of getting crushed. That would have been a good one here right out of the gate. Being greedy here on NVAX just because it's a lower float. And there's just, a ton of people trading this thing. So I don't want to really bury myself. So I'm really looking for the best possible entry here. If I missed your answer, I'm sorry, but is low float bad? Well, I don't think. Oh, you actually asked me. I'm sorry. I just saw your NMVC was a banger. Low float to me, it's not that they're bad. I just don't trade them personally, especially the really low floats, because they can be very manipulated very easily. If you only have 2 million shares in the float and it's a dollar stock, somebody with a $2 million account could literally buy the whole entire float, and they could do whatever they want with the shares, right? So they could basically manipulate the stock, and that's why I don't like playing those, because it's just very easy to, a whale to jump in and kind of determine a price for the stock whenever they want. Like even with NVAX, the float I think is 32 mil. So you take 32 mil times 7, obviously the whole float isn't going to be traded all at once. We're only at 17 mil for the entire day. But somebody with a huge account could step in at, say, 745, and when this thing finally flushes down there, just have orders sitting there, and they can literally stop the stock from going any lower. If your account is big enough, you can do that, and then look to pretty much, just get this thing to drive back to the upside, and then you scale out of your position. The big money can really take advantage of that. This QCOM is really extended. So it's not that low floats are necessarily bad. I just do not like to play them because they can be easily manipulated. So hopefully that answers your question. Did it stop? There you go. The battery's dead, bud. You killed the battery. You run that thing like all day. Got the cleanest floors, I'll tell you that. I can't make it go fast. It's got to go to the dock and charge. That's the only way it'll get fast again. I got my finger on the mic to turn it off if he starts doing his scream and scream. So we didn't get that 750 flush that we were... Yikes. Yeah, no problem, Andrew. So we didn't get that 750 flush that we were looking for from NVAX, so we're just going to leave it alone. I don't disagree that this looks pretty extended, but it wasn't extended enough from this $8 area that we know is most likely going to be used as resistance, or at least try to be used as resistance. So I just wasn't a fan of attempting to try that. I really wanted that 750 flush. That's just personal preference there. Wouldn't fault anybody for getting in on this candle. Look how extended it started to look. Even if we're in kind of a wave pattern, the odds are it's going to come up and test that $8 area. I was just being a little bit greedy there, so is what it is. Gonna just move on from that one. We'll keep it up just for now. This QCOM is an interesting one. Don't think I would really want to play it. I already kind of went through that previous resistance area. Next one's not down there until 92.50. Yeah, 92.73. Yeah, catch up in the chat here. You can ask as many questions as you want, Andrew. Don't ever feel like you're asking too many. Trust me, one of the big problems is a lot of people are fearful to ask questions because they think they're stupid. Well, there's only one way to learn. If I know the answer to something that you don't, ask, right? There's only one way to learn. So the question is, I see you have the 2-minute chart up. Do you not use the 1 minute? So the reason that I use the 2 minute instead of the 1 minute is because I feel the 1 minute is a little bit too much noise. So if I switch to the 1 minute here, this chart actually doesn't look too bad, but a lot of times you'll get very like whipsaw type candles, and you'll get a lot of like these types of candles on QCOM on the 1 minute. So like if we look at the 1 minute here, if you're watching the 1 minute, it tends to kind of fake you out a little bit. If you're somebody that sits there and watches a trade like nonstop instead of just playing certain levels, etc., if you sit there and watch a 1 minute chart, you're going to drive yourself nuts. And so I always just say it's too much noise. So I tend to just go to the 2 minute because I feel like, it smooths everything out. The 5 minute is a little too, like it's too much. Like you're still looking for price action. So the 5 minutes a little too slow. And I know some people use the 3 minute. DOS doesn't have that option to use the 3 minute, but the 3 minute wouldn't be too bad. It's kind of the in between of the 2 and the 5. So it's all personal preference. But the reason I don't use the 1 minute is because I feel like it's too much noise, too much chopping around. Check QCOM and pass, spikes one day, then red several days after. Only does one good move per week. It had 2 in a row there. It had a good move, then it gapped up and had a really good move. But yeah, it does look, over here on the daily, it kind of looks like it had pretty steady uptrend. Even here, it had red days, but it was still in an uptrend. As of right now, I would say it's in an uptrend. Just having a bit of a pullback today. I don't know if hitting the like button helps show the stream to other people, but it does let me know that you love me. So you could do that while you're sitting here as well. Kind of just waiting to see if anything comes up on the scanners. Let's see what SSKN. Not something I think we'd be interested in. That has look at the volume on that thing. It's pretty horrible. ICCC, this is a lower float. Looks like it was halted at some point. Looks like right here. This is pretty much what these low float halts do. You get the nice move. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a famous YouTube channel / chat room that was involved in this one. No problem, Andrew. Did you just subscribe? And is your profile public? I'm only asking because I'm trying to figure out if I fixed the issue that I was having with the subscriptions coming through. See how it says latest subscriber is Lucas. I know a lot of people, it's weird that YouTube actually has the default set to, private, which doesn't really make too much sense. Yeah, Yeti is kind of grinding. It's getting nice and extended, though. Kind of interesting to look at here. I don't really want to mess with NVAX. I'm not going to lie. That thing's just kind of sketchy. It's not really given any bounces whatsoever since that first one that we got. I think I'm going to get away from that. MNK, Sue brought up in the Discord. This could be one to watch. We actually traded this last week. Looks like it's coming up to the 200 here on the daily as well. Up near 7, so it does have a ways to go. We're kind of in a breakout pattern on the daily right here at this key level. We'll keep an eye on that and Yeti here. Yeti, I was actually interested if it wanted to shoot up through 37 there. Didn't quite get it. Oh, bud, did you squeeze it on you? Yeah. Let me get you a paper towel. go change his diaper. You're silly. Alrighty, and we're back. Gotcha, Andrew. No big deal. I was just curious. I heard something going off on the scanners. What was it? INFI? MNK did not do what we wanted. INFI. No range there. NLS. Was it NLS? It's on SSR. Looks like there was a few alerts there. AEZS. Yeah, that was the one that was no range. See, RRC. WW. Yes, WW is kind of an interesting one. Didn't really ever give you a bounce. ICCC. Look at that candle on the daily here on Yeti. Interesting. $38 up there. It's very tempting, I'm not gonna lie. This thing is just grinding though. Also we're getting to the point now we're starting a new trade. You know, obviously the later you start a trade, usually the longer the trade's going to take in most cases. So again, I'm looking to cut all my trades at 12 if I'm still in them. So starting a trade now on something that's not moving super fast, like YETI here, could run me till 12 o'clock. And if it's just kind of grinding higher and higher, it's one of them ones that, you know, it would just kind of suck. So I wouldn't mind playing it, but I'd love to see some sort of like actual intense move. And we're not really getting that right this second. NVAX is actually, oh man, it did give us that push through, didn't it? I wouldn't have really been interested at this point though. I mean, because look at this. Big move down. Okay bounce. We pretty much got the top of that bounce. What was our order there? Got out at 874. It got to 886. It tried again, 890. So it's pretty much the top, right, that it gave us after the down moves. And then it's just there's been no real bounce on these. There's consolidation down, consolidation down. This is really the first bounce. It's kind of doing what I said it would, though. The dip through 750 and then back up towards $8. It did get up to 795, so we definitely would have been in and out there if that was our single entry. Sitting here on YETI, definitely looking for a quicker move, maybe on some pretty decent volume too, up through 37, because this thing is just grinding away. OBLN. Somebody just mentioned that. 6 mil float. Not really going to be interested there. I really hope he turns that off. Can you move that, Camden? Oh, Rag's almost got it. See, he's deaf. He can't hear it, so he's good. There you go. Thank you. What? Why is it stuck? Oh, you got a car in there. Car. You got a car stuck in there. Yeah. Car. Over here. Look. It's shooting the balls at us. Car. Oh, there goes Yeti trying. It actually got through 37 there for a second. Oh, sorry, let me get to your question. So the two screens you look at are just the 2-minute and the daily. And if you don't mind me asking, how many windows do you have up at once? So I used to only have these two separate charts up, right? I would have one montage, the 2-minute, and the daily for one ticker. So I would have two of those up, as you can see like this. And I have the exact same thing on the screen next to it. So I have 4 total charts up at any given time. But once it starts to slow down, I usually just kind of bring the chat up with you guys, and I'll only be using these two. And just for the stream, I only have these two up anyway. So I'm a little disappointed I didn't get the NVAX trade on the stream. That was kind of annoying because that was kind of a good one. I totally thought I had it up, but apparently I didn't. That's going to kind of suck when I make my video later, but it is what it is. We all make mistakes. That's the one disadvantage of I need one more screen so that I can keep my Streamlabs up so that I can see what I do have up. So if I do enter a trade, I could just make sure that I'm on the right chart. So unfortunately, when we hit the open, it's a little busy. So I tend to just have my charts up and I keep the stream down because I'm not really focused on answering questions and stuff like that as everything's happening. I'm more so obviously focused on my trading. So unfortunately, we missed out on that one. That was my bad. So Yeti's actually getting denied right now at 37, but as you can see, it's not really dropping either. Yeah, I'm gonna say it looks like it's just grinding. This thing is just grinding away. Let's see, WW 39.24. Okay. RRC 365. Okay, at least we're sitting at the average. That's good. How do you link charts to the level 2 and time and sales? So pop up your main thingamajigger, go up to quotes, pull up a time and sales, right click it. For me, you don't have to right click it. If you use this main window, that's fine. But right click it, pop it out so that you can bring it out here. And then see this little anchor on the montage? Let me go into chart 1 here. So see this anchor? Looking, it is an anchor. You just basically take that and click it and drag it into the time and sales. And that's actually how you do your charts as well. So if you're opening up new montages and charts, to link them, all you do is drag the anchor from that montage to that chart, to the time and sales, whatever it is that you're using. And there you go. Do you worry you don't have enough screens for all the stocks, or I guess you just don't look at more than 4 at a time? That is correct. I'm not looking at more than 4 at a time right now because I know you're new, Andrew. I actually just last week, actually kind of 2 weeks ago, started tinkering with my strategy a little bit. So I'm starting to get more comfortable with it to where I can look at even 4. I used to really only look at 2. So I'm really looking to broaden the amount of stocks that I'm looking at because I'm looking for a little bit more quantity instead of quality. As far as the tickers that I'm looking at right off the scanner. And so when I find these right off the scanner, I'm bringing them up and I can have 4 up at a time, which is nice because then I can sit here and just watch 4 looking for that extension that I was, explaining earlier that I look for. Yep, no problem, Giovanni. Man, I just changed his poopy diaper and it smells like he pooped again. This kid. Hence the scream. Oh, the poopy diaper, yeah. That wasn't why he was screaming. He screams for some interesting things. Sometimes it's applesauce. Sometimes it's because he got the car stuck in the little bucket thing. Sometimes it's because he just wants me. He wants my attention. There's always different reasons. All messages you sent. Why is it telling me that I'm not signed in? What is this? Oh, it's weird. So Yeti, I'm just going to leave alone. That thing is not doing what we want it to do. BYND, this thing is nuts. It's all the way, going to go all the way back up to, what was it, like 3 something? Or was that the high here? 230, 240? That's the thing a lot of people don't understand. Stocks like BYND, yeah, they're a bigger company, but their float is lower. Like their float is, I think, 20 something. Yeah, it's only 25 mil. So that's why it can make moves like this. It's not hard to move. And just to, actually, here, I'm actually just going to go get you a video, Andrew, that might help you out. Oh, you ate all that applesauce? Give me 1 sec, okay? And I'll get you some more. More? Yeah, I heard you. Give me 1 sec, bud. Are you going to try to go get it yourself? Can you throw that away, please? Oh, the door's not open. So, what's up, traders? I actually made a video back, this is March 3rd. It actually only has 40 views. That's kind of crazy. But it's me explaining how float affects intraday trading. So it would actually be a good, I don't think it's that long. Oh, actually, it's a really long one. But I didn't remember if that's the one I went in depth on. So if you have the time, listen to it on like 1.5 speed. Probably sounds just the same. But I remember making that and I was like, this is a pretty good video, because I basically go in and try to explain why the float can affect like moves like BYND, like the move that BYND is making currently. I basically explain why it can make this move versus a stock with, a 200 mil float with at the same price range wouldn't necessarily be able to make this same move because of the float. It's just a lot harder. But to try to break it down real quick, just to give you like a short version, the lower the float, the less shares sitting at each price level. So if you have a 200 mil float, there's going to be a ton of shares, because it's a higher float, sitting at each price level. So to move that stock, you got to go through each of those shares at each price level. But with a lower float, that's why these tend to be a little bit more spready, because if there's nobody, like say there's somebody sitting at 121.50, and then there's no one else that wants to sell their stocks until 121.25 or buy their stocks at 121.25, the price is going to go right to there. Where if the float was, say, 200 mil, the odds are you're going to have people all the way down from that 121.50 through 121.40s, 30s, all the way down to that 25 area. So that's kind of how the float affects price movement in intraday trading. Is the lower the float, the less shares there are available to be traded. So there's going to be less shares sitting at each price level, which in return makes the stock move a lot faster. So that's why low floats are actually appealing to some, because it's a quick fix, a quick buck. But it can also very easily be the exact opposite of that. So that's why I don't like playing them personally. And, to each their own. I'll just leave it at that. I actually make more money with 40 shares of Tesla. It's true. And this is something I've been learning a lot too, Mr. Gifford, is I tend to think, why would I ever want to trade 5 shares of something? Well, guess what? 5 shares of $100 stock is no different than 50 shares of a $10 stock or 500 shares of a $1 stock, right? There's no difference. So it's all relative. And I've been trying to get that out of my head because it really shouldn't matter. If something's moving 5 points and I'm looking for $10, I could just take, what would that be? 5 shares, right? Am I doing the math right? 10. Or it would be, yeah. No, it would be fine. It would be 2. It would actually be 2 shares, right? 5. No, it would be 5 shares. Yeah, it would be 5 shares. So yeah, there's your instance right there. Yeah, 5 shares, 5 points would give you $10, right? Because you're getting, no, that would be 5 shares. That would be 25. Really, you would need 2.5 shares. Yeah, so obviously that's not possible. So 2.5 shares over 5 points would give you $10. I just need to take half. I was like, I had my mind going in all kinds of different places. It's going to cruise up lunchtime, 11 a.m. Tesla always moves big when it's hot. Yeah, Tesla is definitely a cult, has a cult following, that's for sure. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not one of the, Tesla fanboys, but I've always told my wife, when we finally start to like downsize and we don't really need like an SUV anymore, that I actually really like the Teslas, like the Tesla Model 3. Those things are nice. I got to drive in one. It was like about 2 months ago now, and it's really nice. And the fact that just the maintenance on it is like next to nothing. You just have to worry about plugging the thing in every night. And I don't really ever travel very far. I literally go to school and back, to the grocery store and back. Like I don't really go anywhere. I'm not going on road trips. And I told the wife that we would always keep at least one gas car, because I don't really see myself going on a road trip and having to stop at all these stations. But a lot of people say that's kind of half the fun, because you find one of these, supercharging stations or just a charging station, and it kind of forces you to stop and kind of explore that area while it's charging, and you get to have fun while doing that kind of thing. So again, to each their own, but I do really like the idea of having an electric vehicle, and Tesla is doing them very well. And they're actually starting a trend again. So there's a lot of companies trying to compete. The stock scanner you are using, is there different packages? I'm trying to find a cheap scanner that's good. Trading ideas is expensive. Well, the cheapest that we have, if you go through my link, is the Elite package, which gives you what you need. It gives you these 2 i3 scanners, the 2 that you see on my screen. They're the 2 main scanners. They're kind of the reason that people get the scanners, are those 2. You also get the 2 gappers as well as the tops list. So you get those 5 scanners, and it's for I think it's $98 a month. So I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I'd have to actually look. I'm pretty positive it's 98. Let me take a quick look. But the more you watch me on my channel, you'll know that I don't take any trades that aren't off the scanners. So without these scanners, I'd probably be a pretty bad trader, at least until I figured things out. So yes, it's actually $96. So it's $95.99 for those 5, which is the base, the lowest package that we have. I saw that, Mr. Gifford. It's all good, man. I don't, again, you guys know that I don't push anything. I don't push anything on you guys. I have those tools there available if you guys are interested in them. And if you ask me about them, I'm going to give you the answer. But you're never going to see me kind of shove that stuff down your throat. It's there. If you're interested, I'll let you know. And that's kind of the whole point. With CMEG and ISW, I can get you guys a discount. That's why I'm affiliated with them, because they're tools that I use. So I figured if I'm using them anyway, if the people that are following me and looking to learn, if I can help them out by giving them a discount on those products, then so be it. That's why they're there. I'm not there to make money off of you guys through affiliation. They're there to help you guys if you're looking to use those tools as well. Yeah, Webull is free if you're broke like me. And I actually tried using Webull's scanners for a little while back before I was using ISW. And I mean, those, again, they're very basic. They just don't work for me. So when I found ISW, I was mind blown, and I could never imagine trading without them at this point. The scanners make it so easy. All day I'm not sitting here listening to, constant alerts going off. I only get the alerts specific to what I'm looking for. And I know in the next update, I'm not exactly sure when the update's coming, but we're going to have the ability to come in here, and so you can set your minimum volume, your min and max price, all that good stuff. And in the next update, we're going to be able to actually set the float minimum and maximum, which is going to be nice. So that way, since I don't play anything that's too low of a float, I can just get rid of like anything under 20 mil, so that I won't be sitting here kind of hearing those low floats go off all day. And it'll also give me a lot less to look at, which will narrow my list down to more of what I would play. So I'm actually pretty excited about that when it comes out. Uh-oh. Oh, no. I got it. There you go. What did you get on the roof? Why is it all wet? You have poop coming out the back of your diaper. Oh, jeez. I'll be right back. Well, Mr. Gifford, we actually don't mind that he's pooping a lot, because I don't know if you were around when have told the story in the past, but for the first, I think it was from like when he was 3 months till about 9 months, he was very constipated, and we actually finally went and got him checked out because we were trying everything on our own and we couldn't really get him to poop. And there was one stretch that he went for about 2 weeks where he was just like really struggling. And then he finally tried to get it out and it was just like rock hard. And I felt so bad. I was literally, I know this is kind of disgusting, but I was literally using like utensils, like obviously not like metal, anything. It was safe stuff to use, but I was using stuff to break it up as it was coming out of him. It was just so, I felt so bad. Because we gave him an enema, so it was trying to force this thing out, and he couldn't get it out. And we finally broke it up to a point where that part of it came out, the main blockage. But then we went in and he got an X-ray, and he had stuff all the way up into his like intestines, like all the way up, like halfway up his chest. Like that's how far backed up he was. So we actually have him on what's called Miralax, and we give him applesauce all the time. And he wasn't on antibiotics, but it took about a month of just straight doing this stuff, and we took him back in for an X-ray, and he was completely cleaned out. So now he's very regular now, but we still have him on Miralax. We started with a good amount of it, and we've actually a little bit less than half of what he started on now. But we've tried to go down in the past from where we are, and he doesn't seem to do well once we get past that point. So hopefully he can eventually work himself off of it. But the fact that he is like caught up and he poops regularly. I mean, he poops like 4 or 5 times a day now, so it's a good thing. Trust me, we don't mind it. Yeah, we used to give him raisins, all that good stuff. Freerealtime.com. Have no idea what that is. Check that out at your own, do your own due diligence on that. I know JB's been here before, so I'm not saying it's a bad link or anything, but I don't know what that is. I'm assuming it's a scanner of sorts. The scanner's preset to certain criteria. Sorry, Andrew, I missed that because I had to run upstairs. The scanners are preset to Brian, the maker of the scanners. He basically made these scanners for himself before he even thought about like releasing them to the public. So the presets are basically what he looks for on a daily basis. So if you out of the box just load these up, they work, right? They're designed to work right out of the box where you don't have to touch anything. So the only thing that I actually have modified on here is the min I3, which I have it set to 10, but it comes on 0. Like if you set it to 0, pretty much everything will kind of pop up here. So you, like if you're looking to scroll through charts, but I'm only interested in the intense moves. So I just set it to 10 because I'm only looking for things that get up over 20 anyways. So to me, I'd rather have just these blank screens. So that way, if something does pop up on them, I know that it could be serious and worth looking at. But obviously, again, you can set them up however you would like. Gotcha there, JB. Yeah, we are kind of closing down. I just saw that it is actually 11 o'clock. There's really nothing going on, so I am going to go ahead and get out of here. I appreciate you all stopping by. For anybody that's new, my name is Tim here at Volatility Trading. I'm going to be here every day in the morning. Obviously, if the market's closed, I won't be here. But on those days, look for a video anyway, just like I did yesterday. If you didn't check out my video from yesterday, go check it out. Don't forget to like, and if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. You can always hit the little bell next to that thing so it'll let you know anytime I upload or when I do go live in the mornings. And Falcon, nice to see you. I don't think I've seen you before either. Welcome to the channel. And with that said, if you have any questions or comments that we didn't quite get to, hit me up in the Discord. I will link the Discord down here in the chat. If you also want to follow me on Twitter, I will link that as well. Feel free to come in there and ask away, right? I'm in there pretty much all day, just kind of keeping an eye on the markets. I always keep my headphones on, listening for the scanners. But like I said, at 12 o'clock, I'm pretty much done. So I'm going to go start lunch, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Peace.